Hi everyone, John Davenport here from Photogrammetry.com with another community edit for you. This week's photograph was submitted by RevDFW over on the forum, and it is of Angel's Landing from Zion National Park. And I can't wait to jump into this photograph here and get started, but there is something that's been kind of bothering me for the last couple of weeks, and I feel like I need to kind of go over that. Before we get started here. So I'm going to hop over to my website here, and this is my community editing page where basically all of this happens. You can even bookmark this page once you're here, and that way you'll always be able to come back. Every week the photograph is updated, as is this thread here where you would upload your finished edit to. But what people have been doing is they've been sending me their final edits either through email or through the upload button here, and that's not really how it's going to work. I can't really publish your edits for you on the forum. I don't have the time to do that, and a lot of times people are just sending me photos. I don't know what you did. I'm just not even going to deal with that. So if you want your edit of the photograph to be seen, what you have to do is click on this link here, and it'll bring you to the current thread on the forum which you can upload your photo into. And as I scroll through this, you can see all of the awesome Angel's Landing edits that have been submitted so far. Once you get to the bottom of this page, you can click on Add Reply, and a box will open up. And then what you would do is you would drag your photo into this box here, click Start Upload. It will pop your upload in, write a little bit about what you did to achieve the final look, and then press Submit Reply. So that would be how you would go about submitting your edit to a photograph. This upload button, or if you have a smaller file, or if you don't want to use this upload button, you can use a Dropbox link. I do have 3 different ways you can do this, but basically this is how to submit a photograph to be featured on a community edit. When you click on this button, you are brought to this page here, and similarly you drag your file here to upload it, and there's a button here. I've already clicked it, but there's a button here that says send message, or that's something along that lines. When you click that, you will get this little box here, and basically I need you to put in the message, the name of the file you're sending me, and a little bit about it, because as I get more of these, sometimes it's hard to tell who's sending what. And as I said before, I need to know something about the photograph you're sending me, like I have here, where it just can be something really quick about where you took the photograph, and kind of like why you want to submit it, why you want to see other people edit, the direction you want people to take, things like that. Basically everything else, from the size of the photograph to the XIF data, I can get all of that through the file that you're sending me. So basically I just need a little short description. It can be, less than 100 words if you want, just something so that I can talk about the photograph. And I need to know your forum name and the file itself, because these 2 files are not attached when they come through to Dropbox. So when they get there, I don't know whose file is attached to what, or whose message is attached to what photograph. So I need to know your name, the file name of the photo, and a little bit about the photo, and then we're golden. So now that all of that kind of technical work is out of the way, let's jump into this photograph here. What I'm going to do first is bump up the exposure, maybe about +2.5 or so. I think going to +3 might be too much. We might start to lose too much of the sky here. So I'm going to go plus about 2.5. And then I'm going to drop my highlights down to bring the sky back and raise the shadows up, which will bring in the detail to the mountain range here, and the foreground particularly. And then I'm going to try and get a little bit of contrast back by raising the whites and dropping the blacks. And that does a pretty good job right off the bat of opening the photograph up quite a bit here. At least we can see what we're dealing with. I think the next thing I'm going to do is change the white balance a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit on the warm side for this particular photo and up the yellow. I think that suits this photograph well. I am going to add a little more contrast and a little more clarity to add just a little bit more detail to the photograph. And I'm thinking I'm going to grab my adjustment brush here, and I'm going to add maybe just a little bit more exposure and some shadow detail here to the Angel's Landing rock face in the foreground. I think that because the photograph is really focused on this particular part of the photo, I think that's one of the reasons why I want to do that. It might not be exactly how it looks in person, but because this is such a strong focal point, I want it to kind of pop out of the frame. And at least that's my thought process behind doing this. Now, I wasn't there, so I don't know what it actually, how shaded this actually is, and maybe it's not the way to go, but that's how I would take this photograph, given what I've seen here. Now, finally, I think I'm just going to add a little bit of extra sharpening and maybe even a little noise reduction. When you are adding a lot of exposure, like 2.5 stops, you end up creating a little bit of noise, especially where you've recovered a lot of that black detail there. So I'm going to come down to the detail tab and just do a little bit of noise reduction to kind of clean things up a little bit there. Overall, I think we've come quite a ways from the initial photograph. I do wish that there was a little more interest in the sky, but it is what it is. You have to live with a blue sky when you have it, and sometimes it just doesn't work in your favor. But anyway, I think that this has come a long way, and I hope that the little diversion there in the middle there to kind of explain the submission process wasn't too far of a diversion for everyone. Thank you again for watching, and I will have a new photograph for you guys to edit up on the site soon. Bye for now.